Today, I'm going to be installing these STI style rear spats for my BRZ. Now, when I say that these are STI style, I do mean they are style. They're not the actual pieces from Subaru themselves. These are replica pieces from Based in Our Motorsport. I bought these online for about $60 from a Canadian retailer. So because I've already sanded these pieces down, all I need to do now is primer them and then spray the flat black over, and these will be ready to be installed. Okay, fast forward to the next day. Right, this is actually more than a one-day thing. I'm painting. But not just aprons, I also have a front lip. Now this is another Based in Our STI style 2017 front lip. Now this front lip is a little different from the 2013s. It's got a little bit there, a little edge that comes out. But again, this piece also did need some trimming work. Some of the edges were a little higher than some of the others, so I had to flatten those out, and it as well need to be sanded. But that's done, that's ready for paint. So I'm gonna primer that soon, and then these are actually the apron pieces, and they came out pretty well in a flat black. There is a tiny bit of pitting, but that's from manufacturing, and I didn't fill that in, but that's fine. These are just back pieces, and they're cheap. But the paint came out pretty well, so these are flat black. They don't look too bad, considering that I did very little to no prep on them. But those pieces are pretty much done, and then I'm going to start working on the front lip. So a quick update. The rear aprons, like I said before, they're sitting to dry over in the corner, and the front lip is now primered. So as soon as this primer dries, which is about another 10 minutes or so, I'll be applying the base coat, which is going to be a flat black, both on the top and the bottom of it. Now I know the bottom's not going to be seen, but if I'm painting it, I might as well do the whole thing. Okay, so another quick update. The front lip now has both its base and the primer underneath all done, so that's ready for what I'm going to be doing is a flat clear coat on it. And I already tested this already with the rear aprons, and so it's a little glossier than before, but it still is more of a flat, and this will hopefully protect the paint from any weathering from later on. So that'll probably be a bit of a better choice than leaving it for just a flat black without any clear over it. So, installation day, I have my parts here. I got my hardware is in the prime bag, but down here is this important bit. So earlier in the year I installed mud flaps, but I need to take these off, or at least the rear ones anyways, since I'm not doing side skirts. But I do need to take these off, which means a couple of screws I need to undo now. So I'm gonna get on that. For a couple minutes, there was one push clip, rather one of the screw push clips that was getting stuck, but that's off. So now that that's off and this car is filthy, it's time for me to do the other side. Okay, so the right side came off a lot easier now that I know what to do. So that's the bits that I got from this side. So now it's really clean here, but then you just see the line of just absolute dirt. So it's clean, slightly. This part is anyways. So I've been looking at it, and so what it seems to be how you fit the apron is you have one screw hole that goes to about right there. And I actually already have the spring clip from my mud flap, so actually that's good for me. But then that will go through that screw hole into there. And then you basically just, it's really simple, you place it up, put the screw in, and then at the bottom there's another, you will take off the pop rivet from here. See, there's this is from my mud flap, but then there's two pops that are actually pop clips that are in there. You take off the rear one, this goes up, and that's where if I can find it, that's where this piece will go. The little hole that'll go in there like that. Put those two in, and of course 3M tape on the back side of it, or in my case I'm using Gorilla tape, since I find it's a little better than 3M and it's what I had on hand. So I'm gonna peel these off, put those on, press it in, those two clips, and that should be the install. We'll see afterwards if it's flimsy at all, but for the most part that should be good. And And that's one side done. So basically it did take the one screw that went in there, and then the one push clip that went in the bottom here. The fitment is, I'll get to that at the end, but there was a little bit of hair driver or heat gun involved, and the corner doesn't quite want to tuck in since there's actually nothing that holds it in apart from the actual quality of the molding and any of the 3M tape or any double-sided tape that you put on. So it may need a bit more tape there to encourage it to stick onto the bumper. But other than that, left side is done. So I'm gonna head over, do the right side. Is good. One of the pins is decided to come slowly out from the push clips that goes to the bottom, so I'll have to re-push this back in since it goes into the actual fender liner. Sometimes it's a little stubborn getting in there, so I will have to just pop this clip out, put it back in properly, and then the rear apron will be good. So it's finished. Rear apron is on. I may need to heat it up and readjust it. As you can see, there's a bit of a gap. Refocus quickly. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap, and this is what you can see when you pay no money for rep parts. Kind of like to see the pitting here and here. That's what you get, so that's expected. I'm not honestly big enough or skilled enough in body work, or even just spending the time to go out and buy some body filler to actually fix that. So that's gonna be there until I decide to whatever with these parts. But for, you know, $60 plus, let's say, $20 in paint, so it's roughly about $80. It's not too bad. The fitment is okay. That edge is better, actually, than the edge over here. This edge I might have to heat up again. There's a bit of a gap here, so, you know, it can press in a bit. But some of the heat gun will probably fix that. The finish, of course, is okay, but it does need paint. You do need to paint yourself. But in total, yeah, installation, very easy. I think anybody can do it. If you can't do this, then get a friend to help you, I guess. Now time to put these winter tires back on. STI, yeah, totally. But these are gonna go back on, and now I gotta go work on the front lip and delete the fog lights with the TS bezels, so that'll be nice.